Hi, this is Mani from bsc to nsc.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Gann square numbers, and in fact, I'm going to simplify down the numbers to track for trading. And to start with, let me tell you that I've not gone through the Gann material much. I've not gone through any of Gann material much, so I'm basically very much new to it. But the first thing that caught my eye of the Gann square numbers, the way it's arranged here, uh, people on the net say that you track all these numbers, which are the diagonal and the horizontal and vertical lines here. So you basically track 1, 9, 25, 49, 81. You also track 1, 2, 11, 28, 53, and 86. And all these numbers on this line and all these numbers on this line. So the one number that caught my eye is this diagonal line here. Okay, so wherein you can see that it's basically the square numbers. 9 is square of 3, 25 is square of 5, 49 is square of 7, 81 is square of 9. On the other side, 5 is 2 square plus 1, 17 is 4 square plus 1, 37 is 6 square plus 1, 65 is 8 square plus 1. So as the square number gets larger and larger, the plus 1 has very little significance. So let's say when we track a level for Nifty which is around 8,000 and the squares surrounding it, the plus 1 on the odd squares is not going to matter much. So let's get to Nifty and the squares surrounding Nifty. So you can currently Nifty is around 8,000, so if I do a square root of that, I get around 89.44, so it's 89.90. So those squares that I need to track. So just to put down these numbers, 89 square is 7921, and let me just note it down here separately. So 89 square is 7921, and 90 square is 8100. Is 8100, and I know that 91 square is 91 square is 8281, and then on the flip side, 88 square is 7744. Okay, so I've been looking at these numbers, so I kind of know them. And oops, okay, so just to look at Nifty at these levels and how they've behaved, and basically as a trader, rather than entering a trade randomly, so also the 1,000 point theory becomes important at 8,000, so you look at that as well. And apart from that, these square values can be a little helpful when you do the chart analysis and try and trade based on them. And you take Nifty closing values and the intraday values and try and see how the price behaves around these points, and then enter a trade accordingly, or continue to hold a position or square off a position, right? So you can see here that after the Brexit, Nifty came down here, and the bottom after sorry, not the Brexit, the demonetization, Nifty hit a low on 21st November. The low point you can see at the top is 7916. Let me pull that up here. You can see at the top right corner that the low value is 7916, and on intraday it was very little time below 7920, which is 7921, which is 89 square. And by end of the day, the closing price, it closed above 7921. It closed at 7929. You can see above there. And then Nifty on the subsequent days, it was moving back and forth, but always above 7921. It never came down to 7921. The lowest point was 7940 on the next day, and then the next subsequent days the low price kept going a little higher, and then eventually Nifty recovered and continued to go, and eventually you can see that this big green candle where we close above 8100. The closing price is 8114. So once it sustains above 7921 and holds above 7921, we get to 8100. In fact, we close above 8100. So 8100 becomes the next important level to watch, and like I said, I've taken only the diagonal square numbers. If we take the other numbers, there'll be a lot more numbers, and it becomes very difficult to trade. So that's why I've taken only the square numbers, which I feel is more than necessary, and it's much easy to track these numbers. And once you see that Nifty closes above 8100, it further continues the uptrend, gets to till 8250 here, right, which is 30 points short of this one, 8281, falls back, and you can see that it does close below 8100 on one day, but the next day itself it reclaims 8100 on closing, and then holds above 8100, shoots up, and gets to 8275, almost the day high on this candle here. So that's 6 points short of 8281. Okay, so and then from there on it continues to drop, and kind of holds around 8100 for a while. Couple of candles here kind of sustaining, trying to sustain 8100, and then it eventually drops below 8100, and then 2 consecutive days, 3 consecutive days, and then it continues to drop, and then a close below 8000, which is a psychological 1000 point theory, not a Gann square number, and you can just call it even plain square numbers, and just that these numbers also come in the Gann square, and you come down, and then eventually today it has cracked on intraday 7921. If we close below 7921, then I would expect as a trader, and Nifty, if it sustains below 7921, you can expect 7744, or somewhere below a 7800, right? And so on and so on. So there's a square number at 180 point distance, almost approximately, and it keeps going lower. And to give you some more interest, and it's not just the square numbers, I can put down some cube numbers which are of pretty significant interest. So this is for square numbers, and this is Gann square. So let me put down some cube numbers, which kind of tends to be pretty interesting as well. So I thought, if it's square, why not the cubes? So 17 cube, okay, and then 18 cube. Alright, 19 cube is 6859. 19 cube is 6859, and 20 cube of course is 8000. 20 cube of course is 8000. 21 cube is 9259, I think. Is 9261. Of course we never got to 9261, and before that there's a 9000 point 1000 point theory at 9000 as well, and so okay. And 6859, if you remember, is the pretty much the low point. 30 points below 6825 was the low point during the budget. 2 days we had Nifty coming close to 6860, and then 6825, pretty much an intraday low, and then we never closed below 6859. Okay, so in a cube value this is more like a 1200 point zone. So if we close below 8000, then we pretty much head to 6859. If we close above 8000, we're expected to go till 9261. Of course there's a 1000 point theory at 9000, and then you need to consider the Nifty PE ratio as well. So this is a 1200 point range. In terms of square, it's only 180 points, so it's a range of 180 points. As you keep crossing each range, then the trader mindset shift to the next range. In terms of cubes, it's a pretty big number, and there was the 2008 crash low, so I wanted to take a look at that as well. I think there was 13 cube, which was 2197. So this was the low during the previous budget, wherein again market recovered almost from here till almost close to 9,000 here, and 13 cube was 2197, yeah, 2197. And you'll be surprised that the 2008 low was 2250. So 2250 of course was an intraday low, so we didn't crack below this 13 cube number. Of course, the 14 cube is spaced at 500 points or 600 points. It was around 2700, right? 2744. So these are some interesting numbers that I came across, and like I said, you'll need to combine this with candlestick analysis. And as a trader, I feel on Nifty, each square is 18 points away, 180 points away on Nifty currently, and you take each zone at a time, one zone at a time, and trade it. I think it's pretty decent, and there are some failures as well. So if you can go back and put out all these square numbers and see how the candlesticks have behaved around these. Sometimes it has sustained above a particular level and failed to go to the next level. Once it drops below, of course you go short, it gets to the next square value, so it does happen. So also try to include the 1,000 point theory and the midpoint 500 point theory, and that also helps a lot. And you can apply this on stocks as well. So I'll try and automate something on BSE to NSE to get some important crossovers on the square numbers, not just for Nifty, also for stocks in futures and options basically. So I'll try and get some work done and observe and see how well you can combine the Nifty movement as well as the stock movement. But for now, you can start just tracking Nifty and see how much it helps you with your trading. And that's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye. Subscribe to our channel. Stay in touch. For a free training, log on to bse2nse.com and check it out. Thank you. Bye bye.